as kind of a centerpiece for a business is to have a really strong brand.
So the brand, that I operate with is really helping people share their authentic truth. It's not a full personal brand. It's not really what you do, but in a sense it is, because people are attaching to their own value and their own worth, raising their standards for what they want. That can then translate to an organization.
Welcome, superstar. I am here with my good friend, my client, a mentor of mine as well. This is Maryanne Dersch. She's the author of the book Courageous Communication. And we're here to talk a little bit about building a thought leadership practice, a consulting practice, a coaching business, the way that she's done, and we both done. We're going to talk about this together in hopes that some of the things that we've learned over the years will support and serve you. And before I get into that, before I dive into that topic, I do want to tell you a little bit more about who Maryanne is and some of the things that she's done. So Maryanne trains nonprofit leaders to master the art of influence so that they can raise more money without feeling rejected or being pushy. Her effervescent badassery, quote, calls you to be more influential in your work and life. She's spent 30 years working in this sector, helping organizations communicate more effectively. And from those experiences, she's authored the book that I mentioned, Courageous Communication, Why Codependence is Making Your Nonprofit Brand Boring, What to Do About It. She hosts the Influential Nonprofit podcast and is also the host of the annual Donor Attraction Forum. And so, like I said, I want to check in with Maryanne and see what kind of knowledge you can share with my viewers here who want to be like you, who want to be like us, who want to have a successful business. And what I mean by successful, the way that I define it, the way that I think most of you would define it, and I know the way you define it, is having a business that aligns with who you really are, what you love to do most, what you're passionate about, that generates revenue, and that doesn't suck away your life force energy, that doesn't require you to be working 24/7. So tell me a little bit about your journey in building your business, Maryanne.
Well, I think first, you have to believe that exactly what you described is actually possible, right? That you can have a business that you're passionate about, work that you love, clients that you love, that you don't have to do stuff that you don't want to do in order to make money or to get money.
Yeah, I think that's super duper important. And I'm so glad that you're starting there because truth be told, I didn't believe that was an option when I started.
And I didn't see any models of that around me when I started my business. Like, I wrote my book, I had a website, I had a brand, I had everything. I didn't have a business model. And that's how I met you and what led me to you. Because how can I package and sell what I do in a way that it's energy rich for me and a value to my clients? And I really didn't see anybody around me. They were working hourly. They were working a lot of hours. They seemed to have a, if not outright, underlying resentment towards a client. And I was like, I don't want to be any of those things. So what do I do? Right. Because there really wasn't any model for that other than you got to take any work that comes your way because you're new. And I knew that wasn't for me. What I appreciate about you is that you showed me a way to do this, because I didn't see any other models and especially locally for me or in my industry.
So let's start with, let's talk about one of the things that I talk a lot about, and you do as well, as kind of a centerpiece for a business, is to have a really strong brand, to have a clear thought leader brand, a brand where you are taking a stand for something, you're positioning yourself as an expert in something. How has that worked for you? What have you done to create a brand for yourself, and how has that served to bring in clients?
Okay, so the brand that I operate with is really helping people share their authentic truth, right? And instead of trying to please everybody or trying to smooth it all over, just be that strong voice, be strong in your mission and your message to attract those like-minded people to you. And that is really what I stand on. And that is, I think, what separates me from a lot of other people in the industry. What that means is if I want to do that for an organization, for the organization that I lead, I need to be able to do that for myself first.
Right.
And I feel like that's kind of the journey that I've been on, is helping people with external communications, starting at the individual level, right? Like starting at your individual sense of yourself, without like it's not a full personal brand. It's not really what you do, but in a sense it is, because people are attaching to their own value and their own worth, raising their standards for what they want, so that can then translate to an organization.
Thank you, Maryanne. That was super valuable information. I know that my watchers are going to love it. And if you want to go even deeper, I highly recommend checking out Maryanne's podcast. It's called The Influential Nonprofit.
Into something somebody actually wants to read. Well, somebody helped me do that. And then through that experience, like, I learned to grow and strengthen in my value, right? And I also then learned how to trust someone's process. If I want people to trust my process, I have to be able to trust someone's process.
Right.
You know? And that's really how the book helped me shape my brand and stand for something, because that's what thought leadership is, right? Like, here I see the world just a little bit differently, and I want to share with you what that looks like.